INSTEP'S technical enrichment, AGRI-ADVANCEMENTS to bolster food security, and Sarawak looking to supply power to AI data center. These are the headlines for tonight. Good evening. You're now with me, Razia Ahmad, and you're now watching TVS Nightline. Today, 167 graduates of the Technical Enrichment Program, TEP, at INSTEP celebrated their graduation, marking their readiness to embark on a journey of real-world professional challenges. For a comprehensive recap of the event and its standout moments, we have our on-site reporter in Kuala Terengganu, Cheryl Shaminato. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, studio. Once again, you're now with me, Cheryl Shaminato, and I'm currently again at the Kuala Terengganu INSTEP headquarters, this time at the main block of the building. And behind me here is the hybrid performance prototype of the F1 W06. It's a prototype that is, used the same as the F1 drivers that we often seen, but it's powered, hybrid. Now, all right, now just a recap of what has been occurring in INSTEP the entire day today. We have been seeing upskilling, reskilling, and also earlier today we had a total of 167 graduates comprising of Sarawakians and Sabahans from Borneo, who we had just expected a number of them, a big number of them graduated today. Now, also among the highlights is that the program, the TEP program, the Technical Enrichment program that they had today was actually part of the 10-month sponsorship program by Petronas, which they conducted in modules of this in INSTEP itself. So also we have seen a number of them, and also just to recap, earlier we had an exclusive interview as well with the CEO of INSTEP, Encik Idris Ibrahim. All right, and also he also gave a speech earlier, on inclusivity, implementing diversity. Graduates this year comprised of not only Sarawakian Sabahans, but also it's very rare to see women and ladies in the oil and gas industry. And I've also met with a few of them, and although several, but they are keen to empower themselves in the excellence of this thriving and competitive industry. Now, that's part of their diversity initiative. Also, we were also told as well by the CEO of INSTEP that he revealed that this batches program, the sustainability program module is incorporated as part of its pilot module for this batch especially. Now, we have got a lot of insights from him on how INSTEP has been growing, albeit the COVID-19 pandemic and after as well. And with their graduation ceremony, physical activities are back again. And also we interviewed a few number of the students as well, Sarawakians namely, who came from far, from Lawas, from Sabuyao, from Miri, from Kuching, telling us and sharing with us the insight of their journey at INSTEP, how they came through, what they have gone through here. And a lot of them, they've been highlighting the same thing, which is they are learning about safety, as safety is part of the HSC program of health, safety and environment as well. Safety and getting ready for calamities in an environment like this is crucial for them, and most of them are coming hand in hand, garnering teamwork. So that's vital, and of course INSTEP is playing a pivotal role in this community in pushing the needs to cater for the global industry, namely oil and gas. And before I would like to also end the recap and the roundup for tonight. There are a total of 117 learners who graduated from TTP Sarawak Patram, 233 learners from Sarawak under the TEP program since 2021, and from year 2007 to 2017, Petroleum Technology Program PTP1 in INSTEP had trained a total of 2,026 trainees from Sarawak. Right, tomorrow we'll be expecting more and more insights on the exclusive interview, so please stay tuned to TVS TVS's official website at tvstv.my, the news at 12 and also the news at 5 for more further updates and a deeper insight on the exclusive interviews that we had earlier. That's now for me, Shol Shamiato, and also my videographer Anthony Salingao for TVS Kuala Terengganu. Over to you, studio.
Thank you, Cheryl Shaminato, for the very comprehensive report. Now, in other news, Sarawak has unveiled plans to establish an agricultural research center dedicated to advancing the production of animal feed from biomass. This forward-thinking initiative is poised to strengthen the state's food security by enhancing the quality and quantity of livestock within Sarawak, thus reducing its reliance on foreign imports. Sarawak's Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg has disclosed that this cutting-edge center will operate in close partnership with ICAT's University College, signaling a collaborative effort to drive innovation and sustainable practices in the agricultural sector.
In other words, it has been very effective. Jadi itu berlaku kita dapat menaikkan kualiti dan juga quantity of nampaknya 3 bulan dia increase in the meat 14 kg hingga 50 kg. So all this waste will be turned into animal feed and juga fertilizer.
Additionally, he highlighted that waste generated from the agricultural processes would also be repurposed as animal feed and fertilizer, aligning with sustainability goals.
Di sana ada agriculture punya research center, tapi tak digunakan. You know very well lah, agriculture research center in Asajaya. So what I do, I use that center, then I give to university. And let the university have the lab there and do research together with the community. Then, you know, the Samahan area is from Gedong, Semunyan, right up to Asajaya, to Asadong Jaya, to Subuya, to Lingga, right to Siaman. You know, so the whole area, then I ask them to monitor this area. And you have the biomass out of kelapa. Palm, and then ada oil palm juga sana.
For the record, ICAT's University College made significant progress in producing animal feed from various sources, including sago leaves, napier grass, and corn, further contributing to Sarawak's food security goals.
The Sarawak government is exploring the feasibility of supplying power to Tier 4 artificial intelligence AI data centers in the region. Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg mentioned this in reference to Global Resources Management GRM Sdn Bhd and GRM Digital Solutions Sdn Bhd's plan to establish 4 high computing data centers across Sarawak, Peninsula Malaysia and Singapore.
Now, talking about data center, yes, you need data center. You need the 4 tier, but you need power. If you don't have power, you also cannot have data center. And for that, we want to enhance our energy production. I was mentioning to the Prime Minister and to the Federal Cabinet that we have a potential of 20,000 megawatt of hydro power potential, but we have to use a different approach to produce the power from our hydro. You don't have to submerge a lot of land mass. We got a lot of rivers, so we adopt to use what we call cascading.
In other news, the United States of America has displayed a notable demonstration of support for Sarawak's resolute commitment to address the pressing issue of climate change through the implementation of renewable energy initiatives. U.S. Embassy Charge d'Affaires Manu Bala praised Sarawak's dedication to renewable energy, highlighting hydrogen, carbon capture storage, and algae production as crucial focus areas. He also conveyed eagerness to participate in collaborative endeavors aimed at advancing this sustainable practice and supporting Sarawak and Malaysia in these areas.
And we want to help Sarawak and Malaysia in all those areas. We have many U.S. companies who are engaged in carbon capture and utilization projects, and we certainly want to see if their skill set might be applicable. U.S. companies, of course, such as Exxon, Mobil, ConocoPhillips, and Hess, are already very active in the offshore oil and gas drilling of Sarawak. And some of them have expertise in carbon capture and storage, which might be very valuable as well as you develop the CCS strategy for deployment in Sarawak.
Explaining further, he also expressed enthusiasm for Sarawak's significant use of hydropower in its energy and power generation sectors, calling it a positive development. In a note to Sarawak's pursuit of hydrogen as a new green fuel source, Manu mentioned that American companies would explore opportunities to contribute to these efforts.
We have American companies we'll be looking at, seeing if they might be able to play a supporting role as well. In totality, climate change is something we are very excited about, working with Malaysia and with the state of Sarawak to continue our joint efforts to combat this.
The Sarawak State Assembly has officially notified the Election Commission (EC) earlier today of the vacancy of N67 Jepat state seat. This vacancy arose due to the passing of its incumbent Dato' Talib Zulkifli on Friday, September 15th. Sarawak Speaker Tan Sri Dato' Amar Muhammad Asfiya Awang Nasar stated that he had sent an email to EC Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh on the notice of vacancy required under Article 21(5) of the Sarawak State Constitution.
Kekosongan luar jangka. Nobody expects this. So it's outside the 2-year limit. There is no choice. You have to fulfill the constitutional requirement that the seat has to be filled through a by-election to be fair to the constituents in the area, that they have a YB to look after them.
Speaking at a press conference here, he said the term for the current State Assembly would only end on February 14th, 2027. And since that seat became vacant more than 2 years before the end of the term, a by-election must be held within 60 days from the date EC issues the writ. Meanwhile, commenting on the status of Sarawak's opposition party, Parti Sarawak Bersatu (PSB) assemblymen in the State Assembly, Asfiya said their position would remain as it is for now. PSB had recently announced their support for the ruling Gabungan Parti Sarawak (GPS) government and had intended to merge with one of the GPS component parties, the Progressive Democratic Party (PDP).
This is governed by whether that merger is recognized and sanctioned by the ruling GPS. If it is not sanctioned, then the status quo remains. If it is sanctioned and they are all taken in and embraced as fellow GPS members, then I have to review the seating arrangement.
Talib, 72, breathed his last at 5:50 p.m. due to kidney complications after being admitted to the Nomah Medical Center, Kuching, a day earlier. In the last election, he retained the seat by garnering 6,277 votes to win by a 4,243 majority in a three-corner fight. Meanwhile, the Election Commission, EC, will hold a special meeting next Monday, September 25th, to decide the key dates for the Jepat by-election. Its Secretary Dato' Ikmaluddin Ishak, in a statement, said the meeting will determine the dates for issuance of writ of election, nomination day, and polling day. He added the meeting, which will be chaired by the EC Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh, will also decide on the electoral roll to be used and other preparations for the by-election. In accordance with Article 21(5) of the Sarawak State Constitution, the unexpected vacancy must be filled within 60 days from the date the vacancy of the seat is confirmed by the EC.
Coming up right after the break, Anwar delivers maiden address in UN General Assembly, and in world news, Peru bus crash kills 24. Only on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back on TVS Nightline. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim will lead the Malaysian delegation to the 78th United Nations General Assembly, which begins today and runs until September 26 in New York, United States. In his first appearance at the annual gathering of world leaders, Datuk Sri Anwar will share Malaysia's efforts in addressing the climate crisis and actions taken to achieve the 2030 agenda. This was conveyed by Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir to Malaysian journalists at the permanent mission of Malaysia to the United Nations. According to him, the Prime Minister, scheduled to arrive on Wednesday, will deliver the national statement during the general debate on Friday.
Menganggap bahawa kehadiran beliau ke sini amat penting dan ini menunjukkan bagaimana interest daripada beberapa pemimpin dunia untuk bertemu dengan beliau. Dan antara beliau juga akan mengadakan pertemuan dengan beberapa pemimpin ini, termasuklah daripada Turki, Sri Lanka, Iran, Thailand sebagai pemimpin yang baru di Thailand, ya, Perdana Menteri baru, dan termasuk juga daripada Perdana Menteri Iraq dan beberapa pihak yang lain.
Also present are Malaysia's ambassador to the United States, Datuk Sri Nazri Aziz, Chief Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Datuk Sri Amran Mohamed Zin, and Malaysia's permanent representative to the UN, Datuk Dr. Ahmad Faisal Muhammad. Anwar will be accompanied by his wife, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, the Minister of Home Affairs, Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, the Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz, the Minister of Health, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, several members of parliament, and senior government officials. The Prime Minister is also scheduled to deliver the Friday prayer sermon at the Islamic Cultural Center of New York, ICCNY, this Friday, marking the first time a foreign leader has been honored in such a way by the city's first mosque. And host a dinner for 1,000 Malaysian diaspora members on Friday, Zamri added, noting that there are approximately 25,000 Malaysians residing in the United States. The Ministry of Higher Education, MOHE, has not issued any directives that prohibit any public higher education institutions from joining programs organized by opposition-led states. MOHE Deputy Minister Datuk Muhammad Yusuf Abdal said the ministry is open to such programs that add value and empower universities and their students. He told this to reporters after officiating the community college's commemoration ceremony on Tuesday. Muhammad Yusuf also stated that the ministry is committed to strengthening community colleges across the country to empower the local communities. Thus, the ministry has introduced a microcredit program in 3 community colleges in Pasir Gudang, Segamat, and Bandar Penawar in Johor Bahru as a pilot project. Such programs will be expanded to other community colleges, including Sabah and Sarawak. The free medical services offered by the government through the Madani medical scheme have been extended to the whole country starting September 15. Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa said the expansion came following an overwhelming response from the B40 households.
80,000 isi rumah telah mendapat manfaat daripada skim ini. Jadi begitulah ya kebaikan daripada skim ini yang telah dilancarkan oleh kerajaan Madani ini. Bilangan rawatan yang diberikan hampir mencecah 4,000 sehari yang dipertua dan semakin hari semakin meningkat. Kini lebih 1,300 klinik swasta telah mendaftar dan bekerjasama dalam program ini sebagai panel dalam memberikan perkhidmatan.
She said this in her ministerial winding-up speech for the debate on the midterm review of the 12th Malaysia Plan. She added that her ministry welcomes participation from private clinics nationwide as panel clinics for the scheme.
Saya juga berharap agar yang berhormat sekalian dapat membantu mempromosikan skim perubatan Madani ini di kawasan masing-masing untuk memastikan lebih ramai lagi rakyat mendapatkan kemudahan kesihatan ini.
The medical scheme is part of the government's initiatives to reduce overcrowding at government hospitals and to assist the B40 group in obtaining acute primary care services or outpatient treatment at nearby private general practitioner clinics. The Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, is allocating 5.3 million ringgit for a period of 2 years until 2025 to upgrade the nuclear technology application facilities and laboratories of the Malaysian Nuclear Agency, or Nuclear Malaysia, in an effort to address the country's food security issues. Its Minister Chang Lee Kang said the project, which started this year, seeks to improve food safety and security by increasing agro-food productivity through the use of technology.
Chang emphasized that MOSTI at the forefront of the science, technology and innovation STI agenda actively contributes to bolstering the nation's food security through mutation breeding techniques. He highlighted that one notable outcome of research conducted in the agro-food sector by agencies under MOSTI is the development of NMR 152 rice seeds, a project executed by Nuclear Malaysia.
Benih padi NMR 152 mampu mengeluarkan hasil tanaman sehingga 10 tan sehektar berbanding dengan kadar purata hasil padi lain sekitar 6 tan sehektar di kawasan tanaman yang sama. Tan Sri Yang di-Pertua, penghasilan benih baru NMR 152 ini juga telah diiktiraf dan diperakui di peringkat antarabangsa menerusi penerimaan anugerah Outstanding Achievement Award.
He said this when winding up the debate for his ministry at the 12th Malaysia Plan Mid-Term Review at the Dewan Rakyat earlier today. In a separate development, Chiang said MOSTI was preparing guidelines for the feasibility study of space launch technology to ensure that the proposed launch site meet all the requirements set by the government. He said that the industry interested in establishing a launch site should submit a feasibility report based on the guidelines for the government evaluation purposes.
The prevailing misconception depicting Kelantan as a center for extreme Islamic fundamentalism needs to be debunked as the state embraces religious and cultural diversity with open arms. Director of Tourism Malaysia Sarawak, Nurul Ain Mohammed Yunus, emphasizes that Kelantan's inclusive attitude towards both Muslim and non-Muslim communities renders it a welcoming and ideal destination for vacations.
In efforts toward dispelling this perception, Tourism Malaysia Sarawak organised the Berambeh ke Lembah Klang and Pantai Timur familiarisation trip from September 9 to 14, 2023. Over 30 participants from various media outlets in Sarawak and Peninsular Malaysia, as well as several government officials, embark on the journey.
Sebab tu kalau pihak media yang kita bawa tu, kalau you all semua perasan, kita memang fokus juga kita punya lawatan tu kepada places of worship. Okay, kita pergi masjid dan kita juga pergi ke Wat Kuil Buddha, di mana di situ terdapat patung Buddha yang ada saya tak pasti, tapi dia mungkin terbesar di Asia Tenggara mungkin. Jadi dengan adanya wat-wat tersebut, ia menunjukkan negeri Kelantan ialah sebuah negeri yang toleran untuk semua agama.
Nurul Ain said this when met at the Tourism Malaysia Sarawak office in Kuching on Friday. She also pointed to the spirit of harmony between various communities in Kelantan.
Macam kita tengok macam di Wat hari tu kan, yang ada seorang warga emas berbangsa Cina, tapi dia fasih, petah bercakap dalam logat Melayu Kelantan. Jadi ini menunjukkan masing-masing antara Melayu, Cina dan juga mungkin bangsa-bangsa lain dapat hidup dalam suasana yang harmoni.
Meanwhile, on the 6-day familiarisation trip from Gemas, Negeri Sembilan, to Dabong, Kelantan, Nurul said the objective was to expose the participants to a unique travelling experience through the rail tourism program.
Dia juga merupakan satu produk yang baru sebenarnya, Train to Dabong. Jadi kita nak exposekan kepada warga Sarawak melalui media-media yang kita jemput lah, untuk merasai pengalaman menaiki kereta api dan juga singgah di persinggahan-persinggahan yang kita dah identify sebagai berpotensi untuk menarik minat pengunjung untuk datang dan melawat produk-produk pelancongan di destinasi-destinasi tersebut.
Touching on the available direct flight between Kota Baharu and Kuching, Nurul Ain lauded Air Asia's effort in connecting the two cities as it provides an opportunity for the people of both states to visit each other without the hassle of transiting.
Wrapping up TVS Nightline with our final story tonight, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations ASEAN Bloc have launched the first joint military drills in Indonesia despite the rising maritime tension with China. Indonesia Military Chief Yudo Margono told reporters that the non-combat drills are aimed at cooperation and strengthening strategic partnership among the member countries.
The 5-day ASEAN Solidarity Exercise 01 Natuna exercise will be held at Natuna Island of the country near the South China Sea. Military personnel from all ASEAN member countries, which includes East Timor, will participate in the training. The drills come despite the rising tension with China after Beijing released a map in August with a 10-dash line showing what appeared to be an expansion of the area it considers its territory in the South China Sea. Many of the ASEAN members have rejected the new map presented by China.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And those were the updates for tonight. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching.